Welcome back to God's Lore Deep Dive. We've explored the chaos of the Titanomachy and the cold sacrifice of Ragnarök. Today, we delve into a conflict even grander, one that has challenged the supreme bureaucratic order of the celestial court for centuries. This is the epic tale of the seven great sages, the ultimate demonic alliance born from absolute pride and defeated by internal betrayal. Chapter 1: The Origin and the Oath of Chaos. This alliance was not a random event, but the formidable fusion of seven demonic forces that had reached the pinnacle of power and wisdom. It all began when the handsome Monkey King, Sun Wukong, the one who escaped all natural bounds, met the six other great demon kings, all sharing one common goal: to shatter the shackles of heaven's law. Philosophical analysis of the oath. The reason for their sworn brotherhood was not friendship. This was a strategic political alliance formed with the sole purpose of rebelling against the supreme law of the Jade Emperor. The great sages were all considered threats by the celestial order, and they sought to break the system through sheer personal power and the raw force of their demonic nature. Each great sage, by self-proclaiming a title, sent an eloquent and direct declaration of war to the Jade Emperor, publicly challenging the supreme authority of the celestial court. Let's analyze these proud epithets. Sage equaling heaven, Ben Thien Dai Ton, Bull Demon King, pacify heaven. The ambition to re-establish the demonic order in the celestial realm, a declaration of sustained political power. Sage subduing the sea, Fuk Hai Dai Ton, Flood Dragon King, control the sea. A proclamation of elemental mastery and a challenge to the celestial court's aquatic tribe. Sage of universal chaos, Han Thien Dai Ton, Rock Demon King, chaos of heaven. The will to wipe out the current order and create boundless disorder. Sage covering the mountain, Gi Sun Dai Ton, Lion Spirit King, move mountains. A direct challenge to the celestial court's power over geological control. Sage communicating with the wind, Thong Fong Dai Ton, Macaque King, understand the wind. A declaration of control over information, speed, and aerial espionage capabilities. Sage driving away gods, Kuthan Dai Ton, Rhino Demon King, drive out gods. The desire to hunt down and humiliate lesser deities, sowing fear. Great sage equal to heaven, Te Thien Dai Ton, handsome Monkey King, equal to heaven. This is the ultimate challenge, demanding parity with the Jade Emperor himself, the most direct act of war. Internal alliance analysis. Although Sun Wukong possessed the most destructive power and the highest level of disruptive ability, the Bull Demon King was the eldest brother. This alliance was the perfect strategic binding, disruptive/nuclear power, Wukong, combined with traditional leadership and social network, Bull Demon King. This combination created a nearly perfect threat to the rigidity of the celestial court. The oath has been sworn, and the seven proud banners have been raised. But just how great was their power? We must dissect each individual, analyzing their divine powers, shentong, weapons, and tactical roles to truly understand why this alliance struck fear into the celestial court. Chapter 2: In-Depth Power Analysis. The Seven Supreme Warriors. We have established the Oath of Chaos of the Seven Great Sages, a direct declaration of war against the celestial court. Now, we enter the most crucial deep dive, analyzing the tactical strengths and unique forms of each great sage to understand the overall strategy the alliance possessed. 1. Great Sage equal to heaven, Sun Wukong, the nuclear power. Unique form, a macaque, monkey, with eyes of fiery gold, Hui Yen Jin Jing, possessing a body as durable as adamantite, Jin Gang Bu Huai, after escaping the 8 trigrams furnace. Core strength. Sun Wukong mastered the 72 earthly transformations and infinite shape-shifting ability. This is the alliance's nuclear power, capable of solo confrontation with top deities like Erlang Shen or the Buddhas. Weapon and divine power, Shintong the compliant golden-hooped rod, Rui Jin Gubang. An analysis of its absolute size and weight-changing power, 13,500 Jin, equivalent to the weight of a small mountain. This is a perfect weapon for overwhelming firepower and changing the battlefield's momentum. The Cloud Somersault, Jindo Yun, ensures unhindered retreat, rapid counterattack, and unstoppable mobility. Strategic role, the vanguard of the lightning strike, the one capable of causing the greatest immediate chaos. 2. Sage equaling heaven, Bull Demon King, the ground commander and negotiator. Unique form, a colossal bull-headed demon, a muscular figure, symbolizing raw physical strength and authority within the demonic realm. Core strength, the bull demon king also knows the 72 transformations and possesses top-tier physical strength, capable of fighting Sun Wukong on equal footing for extended periods. Weapon and artifacts, the star-dropping plate, Luo Xingpan, an artifact less frequently used, and the ability to transform into a gigantic bull, a physical domination tactic. Strategic role, he is the foundational anchor and the ground commander. The Bull Demon King's true strength lies in his social network, extensive connections with Princess Iron Fan and other gods/Buddhas, and combat experience. He is the one capable of binding the alliance together and negotiating with the celestial court when necessary. 3. Sage of Universal Chaos, Rock Demon King, the tactical speed demon. Unique form, a colossal rock, Simurgh, a mythical bird known for its terrifying speed. Core strength, possessing the highest flight speed in the 3 realms, able to fly 90,000 li in a single flap, equivalent to 45,000 kilometers. Strategic role, represents speed and swift reaction. In total warfare, the Rock Demon King would be the element of surprise, cutting off supply lines, conducting reconnaissance, and attacking critical strategic targets of the celestial bureaucracy. His speed is an absolute advantage against the celestial court's slow system. 4. Sage subduing the sea, Flood Dragon King, the naval and elemental power. Unique form, a sea demon in the shape of a dragon/flood dragon, Jiao Long, the symbol of underwater authority. Core strength, a sea demon, controlling the elemental forces of water and possessing power equivalent to the celestial court's aquatic tribe. Strategic role, represents elemental chaos power. The Flood Dragon King would be the force that blockades sea routes, attacks from underwater, and disrupts all transport activities of the celestial aquatic tribe. 5. Sage covering the mountain, Lion Spirit King, the strength of terrain. Unique form, a lion/elephant-headed demon, elephant-lion hybrid, symbolizing colossal physical power and sturdiness. Strategic role, responsible for physical might, terrain control capabilities, and disrupting ground military operations. 6. Sage communicating with the wind, Macaque King and 7. Sage driving away gods, Rhino Demon King. Macaque King's strategic role, supreme reconnaissance and aerial combat capabilities, the indispensable eyes and ears of the alliance. Rhino Demon King's strategic role, combatability to deal with and confront lesser deities, serving as the attrition force against the celestial court, preparing the battlefield for Wukong and the Bull Demon King. This 7 great sages alliance was a perfect and nearly invincible fighting formation. Nuclear destruction, tactical leadership, overwhelming speed, and elemental control. But if their physical power was absolute, why did they fail? The answer lies in Chapter 3, Strategy and Dissolution. Chapter 3, Conflict and Strategy, the War Against the Celestial Court. We have analyzed the extraordinary combat power of each great sage. Now, all theory must be put to the ultimate test. If the 7 great sages alliance had combined forces, how would they have fought the Celestial Court, and why did the Celestial Court initially suffer such a disastrous defeat against the demon tribe? 1. Simulation of the perfect alliance tactic. The perfect war machine analysis shows that if they had maintained unity, the 7 great sages' fighting formation would have been a war machine nearly unbeatable by any force in the 3 realms. Overwhelming firepower strike. Sun Wukong would use the compliant golden hooped rod and the 72 transformations, creating instant destruction and chaos, thus drawing the attention of the highest-ranking deities. Wukong is the steel spearhead penetrating all defense lines. Ground stabilization. Bull Demon King. The Bull Demon King, with his equivalent physical strength and combat experience, would be the foundation holder and ground commander, confronting the top divine generals. Speed warfare. Rock Demon King. The Rock Demon King would use his phenomenal speed to cut off supply lines, conduct reconnaissance, and launch surprise attacks on critical strategic targets, paralyzing the coordination capability of the bureaucratic apparatus. Elemental blockade. Flood Dragon King. The Flood Dragon King would blockade sea and river routes, paralyzing the Celestial Court's aquatic tribe, creating chaos from below. 2. The reason for the Celestial Court's initial failure. the bureaucratic failure. The truth is, the celestial court suffered a crushing defeat in the very first confrontation, not because their divine generals were weak, but because their system was too rigid and outdated compared to the chaos and violence of the demon tribe. The system was too inflexible. The Jade Emperor's bureaucracy operated by process and documentation, failing to react swiftly to the immediate violence and chaos caused by Sun Wukong. The process of troop mobilization, meeting, and decision-making took too much time, allowing the demon tribe to gain the advantage. Misallocation of power. The fact that the celestial court sent low-ranking deities, such as Juling Shen or Najah, to suppress the uprising, while Sun Wukong was the handsome monkey king, demonstrated severe underestimation and a lack of intelligence regarding the demon tribe's strength. They failed to recognize that Sun Wukong was the nuclear power that needed to be countered by the Buddha or Laozi right from the start. 3. Strategic dissolution. The demon tribe's fatal flaw. Despite having the power to defeat the celestial court, the Seven Great Sages' alliance dissolved due to a fatal flaw, lack of a unified objective and individual pride. Wukong and the title. Sun Wukong, the one with the greatest power, only desired the title, Great Sage, equal to heaven, and personal freedom, lacking the political vision to overthrow the order. When the celestial court lured him with the minor post of head of the imperial stables, Bimawin, and later the empty title of Great Sage equal to heaven, the alliance's unity fractured because the goals had become fragmented. Bull Demon King and risk. The Bull Demon King, with his political shrewdness, was not willing to risk the entire demon realm for an uncertain war. This combination of individual pride and lack of collective political ambition led to the weakening and dissolution. This fragmentation and individual pride created the opportunity for the celestial court and later Buddhism, the supreme philosophical force, to subdue each member individually, leading to the alliance's inevitable weakening and failure. This dissolution is the greatest lesson in Oriental mythology. Absolute individual power cannot stand against the power of system and philosophy. Let's see how their final fates were sealed. Chapter 4. Fate and Legacy, the Lesson of Demonic Power. After being divided, the fate of each great sage clearly reflected the helplessness of material strength against the power of system and philosophy. 1. The divergence of fates and the subjugation of power. Sun Wukong, subdued by the Buddha beneath the Five Elements mountain. Absolute physical power was replaced by spiritual strength and constraint, the magic headband. This was a victory of philosophy over violence. His power was later utilized to protect the new order instead of undermining it. Bull Demon King, ultimately subdued by Buddhism, the Buddha and Guanyin, and forced into submission. His power and social network were completely dominated by the religious system. He became a part of the order he once sought to shatter. The other great sages, most retreated into reclusion after witnessing the failure of Wukong and the Bull Demon King, accepting that the new order had been established. 2. Comparing demonic power versus the supreme system. The final verdict: the demonic alliance possessed superior physical strength and individual talent. However, they failed because lack of order. The alliance lacked a unified goal and a stable operational system. They were merely 7 powerful individuals, easily divided. The supreme force. Ultimately, it was Buddhism, the supreme philosophical force, that subdued them, not the Jade Emperor, the administrative force. This proves that the power of philosophy and law, Dharma, far exceeds both the physical power and the administrative authority of the celestial court. Only a philosophy grand enough could control a great demon like Sun Wukong. 3. Legacy and influence. Despite their failure, the 7 great sages remain a powerful symbol of freedom, rebellion, and the desire to break conventional norms in Oriental culture. They are proof that pride can be a strength but also a deadly weakness. And that is the story of the 7 great sages' alliance. A powerful testament that even absolute individual strength cannot stand against the predetermined law and philosophy of the universe. Don't forget to subscribe to the God's Lore Deep Dive channel so you don't miss our next video. See you soon.